on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G, got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Try run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as they head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the sea. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look half freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them doors on the duty. I'm the stick, see I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tune into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Week's episode of the Vitamin G podcast. I'm your host Pharaoh, and with me today I have Nappy and Jube. Hey guys, how you been? How's it been going? Everything's been going okay with me. You know, not the best week, not the worst week, but you know, we're rocking and rolling. Fresh Monday, had a day off. You know, can't complain. Oh, let me get my camera rocking. You know, there's always some issues, but at least it's not audio today. Looks like the audio is rocking. All right. I was a little late on getting your guys' audio up, but at least we didn't really start talking yet. So let's go on and get these intros kicked off. Nappy, man, how you been? What you been playing?
I've been doing good. It's funny. I just uploaded my one controller review. So the Power A Fortnite controller. So this is the wireless controller for Xbox Series S, X, and PC. Has 4 programmable buttons, a weird trigger stopper functions, and has a bunch of Fortnite graffiti all over it. That is literally, I just uploaded on my YouTube channel. It should be public by 9:30 p.m., but it's okay. I want you guys to stay here first. So that way you guys have something to look forward to watching after, if for some reason you're still up. And also, I have another controller review, which I do not have on me, but it was a mobile controller made by Easy SMX. It's called the M05 controller. So that controller review is up for all you mobile gamers out there who are looking for a mobile controller. And also, I have another mobile controller. Easy SMX have made a Bluetooth version of their M15 controller. So I have it right here. It's black and it doesn't have the USB-C jack. But one of the cool, unique things about this controller is that you can actually use this on your PC, which I thought was really cool. And this controller works for Fortnite Mobile, not Fortnite, I'm sorry, Call of Duty Mobile, because, you know, Call of Duty is weird about which mobile controller you can use on their system or their game, which I don't know why, but this controller actually works. So another mobile controller to add to my collection. And other than that, when it comes to gaming, I did doing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds. I've been practicing up. I got my Insect Glaive, even though I'm more grounded compared to all the other games. I got the Insect Glaive down pack. Charge Blade I got going good. The bow is still a little iffy. I'm still trying to figure out how I can like work this bow in the Monster Hunter Wilds, and the longsword is actually fun. So those are my 4 weapons that I use in Monster Hunter Wilds. And February 28th when it hits, I am not going to be available for people. I'm just unless you're playing Monster Hunter Wilds. So that's all. That's it. That's all I got for you guys.
All right. And G-Ray, man, how you been? What you been playing?
Hey yo, I've been playing Avowed actually.
Tried.
You tried.
I tried to play it, but kids was on me this weekend, man.
Oh, I'm about to say you tried it and you thought it was trash. I was like,
No, not tried, and it was bad. Like I tried, I made my character, got to the beginning, and it was like, dad time. So
I heard some mixed reviews about Avowed so far, like the advanced access. People are saying it's
play the game.
Huh?
We're not talking about that. Play the game.
Okay. I'll
you got
play
Game
the game.
Pass. It doesn't matter about none of that shit matters. Just play the game.
All right, fine. Fair enough. Wait, advanced players can. I thought it was only for advanced players. I didn't know Game Pass counts as advanced players.
If you can buy the premium with any game that Xbox releases,
yeah,
you pay for the premium edition of the game. You pay for the premium pack, and you get the early access.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait.
The game drops tomorrow.
Yeah, but
that's kind of how it works. So so that's their way of like getting Game Pass customers to still like purchase a portion of the product. Is giving you that early access by paying a little bit extra for the early access. And this year was for this particular game it was just $22, which isn't too bad. Usually it's
usually
about
30.
Yeah, it's usually 30
to 40.
I mean,
depending.
Yeah, if I'm paying 30 or 40 for you, gotta give me like a month in advance, or like a
Not
month.
Really, because here's the thing: we're not buying the game after the fact.
No, the premium edition would be like $100. Our premium edition would be like $100.
Yeah, because I didn't spend the $70 on this game, I'm more apt to spend $22 to get all the content out of the game. Why not?
I mean, it could be a good discussion for one day, but I don't know. I feel 50-50 about it. That's just me, though.
Understandable. That's why Xbox is all about giving you options. So if that option doesn't work for you, that's cool.
Yep.
1 second.
I'm sorry. I interrupted Jube's intro, though. My fault.
No, you're good. No, it's a lot of fun. I'm really liking the game. Yeah. I don't really have much to say besides I really enjoy it. It's scratching an itch that I don't have to play Skyrim to experience. Good shit. Combat's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Really? That's cool. That's good. Because when I look at the gameplay from outside looking in, it reminds me a lot of Enshrouded, which is a game I'm playing. But so I don't know. It looks cool though. It looks the graphics look good because I see it's on Religion 5. Looks like it runs smoothly, so they weren't extremely lazy with the engine.
They all.
optimize it.
I haven't seen any crazy pop in. When I'm playing Wukong, that's the one thing that I complain about because I can see it. So it's nice to be it's open world and nothing just shows up.
You talking about Avowed? Yeah, it's a very clean game. From what I've seen, I haven't had a chance to dive in and play it too much, but it looks like it's a very well-built game. That extra couple months of polish probably really did it some justice too.
Yep. Like I said, well-optimized game. So
yeah, and what you were saying in regards to some people complaining about particular issues, from what I've heard people say that's in the PC community, because I know you're a PC gamer, all of the issues that are there will be fixed fairly quickly by the PC community. It's not anything that's drastic. So it's little things that people are nitpicking at.
Yeah, right now I only see 5,000 players for this advanced access, which is definitely low compared to some of the other advanced access.
It got up to 13K. Like right now, yeah, you're seeing that, but that's still people that paid $100 to do this on Steam. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
so
everybody wants to pay Steam $100.
I mean, I'll wait for the original, wait for the actual release to see how the game does.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the game will do well. It was a top seller on Steam, I think Monday and Saturday. So I think it'll do decent. Yeah, we'll see. But me, I've been doing a lot of studying lately, trying to get some certs. So been doing that. I've been dabbling with Madden in between the certs because I don't want to dive in something story based. Because if I play an RPG and the story gets good, I'm done. You can forget about it. 12 hours gone. I don't know if it works that way for you guys, but once you kind of get sucked in and you start getting into that gameplay loop and the story's hitting, yeah, you can definitely get lost in it. So, tried to play I think Saturday night and I got caught up with the kids, and then Sunday night they wanted to watch Order of the Phoenix, so that took my Saturday night away. So, maybe tomorrow, depending on how my work day looks tomorrow, I'll probably get to play maybe like an hour or so, maybe 2 hours. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Plus, I got the kids at home again tomorrow before this stupid snowstorm hits. My kids might not even go to school this week.
Thursday.
Because the snowstorm is supposed to hit tomorrow night.
Wait, what?
Snow? That's not good.
Yeah,
we got a little bit over the weekend.
I thought it was Thursday. What do you mean?
No, it's supposed to hit tomorrow night, and it's supposed to be a Wednesday storm and a Thursday storm. From what I last checked. Yeah, so
the BG is about to be high.
Some people are suffering. Condolences to your tax refund, because that's where your money's going to that damn BG&E bill right now. Crazy. I know G-Base from the area, so he knows who BG&E is, but like BG&E bills have been like, for people with like little townhomes, it's been like $1,200-$1,300.
Yeah, my first this is my first $200 BG&E bill.
Yeah.
You best believe I turned everything off. I was unplugging shit.
Yeah. People are having like
fuck that.
People are having like $1,200 bills. It's crazy right now, but it is what it is. People didn't come here to listen to our life problems. Let's go talk about some games. I'm gonna kick it off with what's on your mind as usual. I guess BG&E was on our mind early. Anything else gaming related that is not pertaining to our 3 topics tonight that you guys want to hit on?
I actually do have one
Okay.
For PC players. We have officially won. We no longer need PlayStation accounts to play PlayStation titles on our PCs. Sony has finally got rid of it. PC players have won. No more extra accounts. So, which means I now can play all the PC titles released and don't have to worry about making a PlayStation Network account. Which, for me, like, I'm happy because the PlayStation Network account didn't offer anything unique for me. It just was just make an account just because. It's not like I could have like I'll Play Anywhere app where I can like, hey, play on my Steam, and then the PlayStation Network account I can play online or cloud stream the game or anything like that, like Xbox gives me. Like, it was pointless.
It did give you one unique feature.
What unique feature did it give me?
If PSN went down, you couldn't play your game. That was the unique feature it gave you.
Oh yeah, people. I felt so sorry. I'm so glad that the only game that wasn't affected was
Helldivers.
Well, Helldivers 2, because they had to pull that back because of the amount of outrage that people have about making PlayStation Network accounts.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad PC players won on this front. Definitely.
Is it not region specific? Like,
Yeah,
It's just gone
PlayStation
now.
Network was region specific. That's what it stopped.
No.
It actually forced it, like people, the Helldivers 2 developers were forced to give all these people refunds because they could no longer access Helldivers 2.
But yeah, it has become a global thing that you don't need a PSN account anymore, but it's not across every game yet. It's like rolling out and they're phasing it out of the game. So they haven't like released a patch for every single game that required a PSN yet, but they have like stripped it from some of the bigger ones. From what I last read, unless there was an update that came out today, because I didn't see anything today about it. But last I checked, it was like kind of rolling it out to different games. So
Yeah,
you gotta check PC gamers to make sure that the specific title you're interested in buying still does not require a PSN.
I'm just happy. I'm just glad they got rid of it. I mean, if you're going to make me sign up for a PlayStation Network account, you got to give me a reason to, not because to boost your numbers.
They did offer some free
stupid.
skins. You know, any free skins for any game that you connect your PSN to.
No.
They thought people really cared about that damn trophy support is what it was, but people really don't.
No.
Like, the PlayStation community hyped up trophies so much that Xbox was like, yeah, we need to look at our achievement system, see if we can make it better. No, you don't need to make it better because only those little small group of people on Twitter over there really care about the trophies and the platinums as much as you do. Like, I think gamer score is a little bit more cumulative and holds a little bit more weight if you spend more time playing games over time than a platinum does. A platinum just shows that you loved a particular title, or there's a particular set of titles that you love so much that you're gonna grind through that game 2, maybe 3 times just to get this trophy. Because the one thing I hate about platinum is maybe it wasn't like this early, but it seems like most games now you have to play a game multiple times in order to get the platinum. That you can't get it in one playthrough and get it. So even if you had to play it on hard mode, you can't play it on hard mode on the first playthrough. You got to beat the game and then unlock hard mode to play it again and then get this platinum trophy. And I don't know how much that serves the developer either, especially with these single player titles, because I could be buying another one of your games, but I'm playing it twice just to get this stupid trophy.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would definitely say at least like with the Nier series with Platinum games, they gave you new content with a new playthrough.
Yeah,
like
a lot of these games don't. It's just
the
second playthrough. I'm not hating on it, but it's just kind of one of the misfortunate things that we're kind of seeing in the landscape of gaming at the moment. Anything else, Jube? You got something that's on your mind pertaining to gaming?
I just need people to start
Anime?
playing these games before they're gonna start bashing them. But outside of that, nope. I finally found a good order to watch that Fate series in, so I'll be doing that.
Okay.
This week I rewatch Unlimited Blade Works.
I find the game bashing, especially of like Xbox titles, to kind of be funny now. Because there's literally like so many people that jump in and play the game day one for free on Game Pass because they've already paid into the service. So they get to play and see for themselves, and they get to see if like your review is really lines up with the public's perception of the game.
Right.
It's not the same as like back in the day. Back in the day, reviews were kind of important because you depended on a review to determine whether or not you should buy a game you were kind of on the fence about. But now, that's not really the case. So it's just kind of funny how they're doing this with Xbox games. Like, we're going to play this game, right? Versus like a game like, not to hate on the game, it got Game of the Year, but a game like Astrobot, they throw a 90 on it. But it really doesn't matter if she throw a 90 on it because nobody bought it. Like, it's just like the reviews aren't dictating the sales anymore like the way that they used to. So it's like, like if your reviews aren't really having the impact that it used to have, like I just don't get the bashing now. Like I know Avowed's a pretty clean game, and I think from what I've seen, I don't think. I think it's at bare minimum at 80, and I know it has an 80 meta, but you know, there are people that was giving it like 60s. So I'm like,
Yeah, for no reason. Like I haven't seen any reason in this game yet to be like, oh yeah, it's a 60. Like,
yeah, it's a
please fuck
clean,
off with that.
it's a clean game. Is all I'm saying. So I just find that funny. Oh, we got another member. It is Omar, man. How you been?
Dude,
What
I've
up, my
been waiting for
guy?
you to telling me to come live. I had no idea you guys went live.
I literally sent the message to the group
He
chat,
sent the
He's getting his
message.
and I said I'm about to load up the
Yeah,
stream
you said
now.
you're preparing it, but
I
okay.
even asked if we good to start. And it
Oh,
was just
Yeah,
like,
I was waiting on
Oh.
to jump in, but okay.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I said it like
okay.
15 minutes before the show started.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
next time I will learn. When you
oh.
said that, I will prepare myself.
Yeah, I was like, I know, like I was like, I'm getting the stream ready now because it's about, it's about to go up. So, my bad. But good to have you in here. How you been? What you been playing?
Yeah, I literally have to stop playing Yakuza 4 so
Okay.
I could join the podcast.
Okay.
What I have been playing, I played a lot. I dropped the gunk, boring ass game. Like I couldn't.
That
Yeah,
game came out like 3 years ago, right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't played it
It
literally
didn't get
last
any. It
week.
didn't get any better for you, bro.
Sorry,
I said it didn't get any better for you, did it?
it didn't. It didn't hit. It. Like story is interesting, but the gameplay is so boring. Like
Right.
I couldn't get in. Yeah, I had to drop it. Like to me, I would rather play games that I'm excited about. Like it's not like I don't have a. I am not interested in indies. Like I am. It's just I have a backlog. I need to finish all the Yakuza games so I can get to the newer games. Man
Yeah.
with No Name, Asian, and 7, and now 8. So yeah, what I've been playing, I went back and finished every single Astrobot DLC, including the newest one, the first level. As always, I'm having a blast with Astrobot. Great game. I finished High on Life and High on Knife, the DLC. That was great. I enjoyed both of them. Other than that, yeah, a little bit Helldivers 2 here and there. We lost another planet. Well, rip. But what can you do? I am Nappy. I'm curious. What do you think will happen if we lose every single planet in what you call it? Helldivers 2?
if we lose every single planet,
Yeah, do you think we would get a reset or
no, that almost happened in Helldivers 1, and they basically it was almost a reset, but they basically, if you just lose a planet, the planet just becomes conquered, and then you have to wait a little bit before they open it, making it available again to open. But yeah, you do lose resources and some levels for a time being. It's one of those. It will eventually will reset, and you will get the chance to take it back. It just will be
interesting.
it would just be hell to take it back. That's just funny because Helldivers 1 is still receiving updates, which is like,
That's crazy.
Hey, if people are
Yeah.
still playing it,
Helldivers
You
1 is
just
it's a
they
really
would
great
quit.
co-op game though.
Yeah, and it's a different style of game than Helldivers 2 is. So
Yeah,
that's also
Yeah, but
that's also probably why they still support it.
yeah, but you would assume the people that started on Helldivers 1 would jump to 2, because 2 is amazing.
Yeah, but it's a different style, so some people may prefer a top down
It is.
as
Yeah,
opposed to
people
a
yeah,
yeah.
that's fair. But yeah, oh, and lastly, and I know Nappy, you're not gonna love it. I tried Monster Hunter, I just suck at it.
it depends. I'm saying each weapon is like a completely different play style. It is a hard.
Not only that, first, and this is mind-boggling to know to insane degree. You can button swap on keyboard on PlayStation 5, but you can't button swap your own console. Like that, like for example, I'm so used to hitting with square.
Oh
The
yeah,
thought
get used
of
to
hitting with
triangle.
fucking triangle and circle, like circle is
You
always dodge for me. I'm not used to circle for like and I have no issue with them doing that, but why can't I switch it?
I mean, you do have a valid point. I mean, who knows? Maybe this was a beta, so maybe the official
And
release you will be
ano-
able to.
another issue, and I had that with
Mm.
Monster Hunter. What you call it? The previous
Wild
one. Yeah,
are
Wild, the demo, or the beta, whatever you want to call it. They have you do one single main mission and then throw you into the deep and say swim. Zero
yeah.
fucking tutorial, zero explanation how
Whoa,
weapons work.
whoa! You actually have to go into the training logs to actually learn how to use.
I went in. There is literally, what you call it, buttons. I mean combos that they don't even explain. You
Yeah,
gotta
I mean,
figure
yeah, you
out
got.
yourself.
There's a it is like a. I will say because I mean, way how I learned was I actually just went and I fought monsters, and that's how I learned all my combos because I already have like muscle memories on the insect glaive, longsword, charge blade, and bow is what I use mostly.
Bro.
I will definitely say like I do know that there was some training logs, and they do add the options where they start putting the button indications on next to the buttons to let you know what combo you're about to hit
Yeah, I seen it.
move. So there is ways for it, and they actually
I
it's when the full game comes out, it's supposed to be more in depth.
I tried
So
the insect log, the insect one. It's so fucking confusing,
Yep.
especially if you're not used to it.
Oh,
insect glaive,
absolutely.
that's one of the okay, I can see that's like one of the beginner friendly weapons, believe it or not.
I kept doing that one forward circle one. It just wouldn't work. I'm like
Or
I literally shot. Apparently, you need to shot. You need to have your insect hit 3 times before the ability to do that.
depends.
I
There's head, torso, and back. Like you level
yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
I I just dropped it. To me, like I love Monster Hunter, but I just can't get
Well,
in.
to my understanding, it's a game that you really need to play as a team, especially once you start dealing with the
Yes,
bigger
but
monsters.
there's also a solo section where you can do if you want
Because
to go for that.
when I played
Yeah,
Monster Hunter Worlds, like I felt so alone, and I was like just getting like mopped up.
I mean,
I
I
get
was
that.
you could solo monsters. It's not that you just gotta. So a lot of the monsters, if you actually pay attention to Monster Hunter series, you already know what their weaknesses are.
See,
The insect blade.
I'm not a vet like you guys. I'm not a vet. You know,
Yeah,
I
I
just came
will
in and I was
admit.
getting mopped up, and I had nobody to play
I
with.
thought
Nobody had their mic on. It was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I fought a dragon that does thunder damage, and he whopped the floor with me.
Yeah, so actually, me and my friends were finally able to beat him. I was using a charge blade, so the charge blade now. There's a parry system in Monster Hunter Wilds where if you time it correctly, you can actually have this like blocking animation where you're blocking the monster's attack with your shield, and you constantly stab at it with your sword while pressing Y or triangle on your PlayStation or Xbox controller.
There
I
is
will.
a dodge button as well, but a dodge window. It's just too much for me. I had to drop it. I love the
I,
concept. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Okay, I mean, I can understand. I mean, I will give you this though: the Insect Glaive on Monster Hunter Wilds compared to the other Monster Hunter games, they did make it more difficult because the Insect Glaive usually all you needed was a level 1 of the Insect Glaive for the bug, and then you could be able to fly around. No, the Insect Glaive in this game is actually a lot more grounded compared to previous Monster Hunter games. But the thing about it is, there's actually a lot more cooler combos you can pull off with
Hmm.
the insect glaive on the ground. So yes, you are going to need that all 3 levels to even be able to somewhat fly around. And there, I could definitely see that you're going to have to put a lot of stats into build your build into stamina to stay in the air. Also, they did make it where you can now mount monsters a lot easier with the insect glaive. And they
I
asked me
had no
for
idea that you could mouth monster. I just jumped, thinking I can stab it, and all of a sudden I'm like Shadow of the Colossus style, where I'm on some. It's it's another thing. I'm not sure if it's a new mechanic or not, but monsters moves a lot. Like
No,
they
it's
move from
that's not new.
area to
That's
area.
definitely not new.
That's what they always do. After you do a certain amount of damage, a monster's
Yeah,
like, get away from me. And then the monsters usually have like 2 or 3 phases.
You gotta like chase them
You
down.
really- Yeah, I mean, it's monster hunt. You're literally hunting the monster.
Yeah, like you gotta chase them down. Like they be running fast as shit too.
Yeah, you gotta track them. You gotta look for their tracks and like
Yeah.
there's a whole process for this.
On your right side, is that a clock that determines its health, or how much time you have before the monster?
You believe it or not, no, that time clock is literally how much time you have left in the mission. So when you start off a hunting mission,
Okay.
you actually are on a time limit. But it's extremely generous. I mean, like you get like 30 minutes to per hunt,
An hour,
which is
per hunt,
which
Yeah,
is like
cute.
more than
when
enough time.
But you're a noob like me. You need 2
Yep.
hours for this one.
Oh,
But
sorry.
It's not forgiven to the new players. Like y'all are vets. It's not very. I'm just saying.
What weapon did you start with besides the insect glaive?
This is my biggest issue with this franchise. It's not friendly for new players.
Well, I'm gonna say it's not friendly for new players. It's not friendly for new players that don't have a group of players to play with.
I mean,
you-
what a new player is.
Yeah.
You need
can
somebody.
jump- Yes,
You should start with a
yeah,
sword and shield.
Like-
sword and shield.
like, I'm
That is
telling
like
you.
a newcomer player, like
Yeah,
Omar.
this.
I'm telling you, if we did a VGP night and we all played Monster Hunter, it would go pretty smooth because we would have a couple vets along with a couple rooks, and we would.
Yeah, because I would have someone like Nappy to explain to me.
Yeah.
This is what you do. This is what needs to be done. And some people might see that as hand holding. I see it
Yep.
as something that needs to be explained in game that they don't explain to newcomers. Like for example, sharpening your weapon. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, because
If I had no idea that need to be done previously.
Yeah, and you're right. They don't do a good job explaining.
yeah, I was about to say last time I played Worlds, it did not have a very good tutorial. It had a tutorial, but it just wasn't like.
I have a,
And then who wants to spend like 20 minutes reading a tutorial to learn how to play a game? Also,
yeah,
like it's
I
like
have,
catch
I
22.
have
Like
a
even if you give a great one, no one wants to
I
sit
have
there
a
and read all that
monster
shit.
net. I have a monster net. What does it do? They literally tell you need to use the dunk pod to make an enemy freeze so you can kill it on its own without a group. I'm like, what the fuck is a dunk pod? Where I can find it?
Monster
I had-
shit.
It's literally
no,
shit.
I
Yeah.
realized that afterward, and after I threw it and the monster fled. So to me, yeah, and I even beat a monster or two. That's frustrating that it's not a newcomer friendly, sadly.
Yeah. It kind of sucks. But wait, what mind you asking? What weapons were you using besides insect glaive? If you don't mind me
I
asking.
tried everything, close to everything. So
Oh my god.
I'm
yeah, because you're gonna have a miserable time, man. You gotta put some.
I'm a what you call it? I'm a parry dude. I love parrying. So I took the parry one. I sucked at it beyond belief.
Wait, which one's the parry? There's a couple
It's
of
a long
class.
sword. It's a long sword. It's like samurai sword.
Oh,
It's like that super long broadsword type thing.
That is considered medium
Katana?
difficulty
Like
to
a- yeah,
master.
the katana
Yeah,
okay.
can
it's
be
a
a little
long
hard.
sword.
It can be a little rough.
I had a best time with the rogue, which is basically the two what you call it blade. Two
The twin blades, the
I
short
don't
twin
know
sharp
what
blades.
it's the one where you play as a rogue. You know.
Oh, you talking about the twin short blade ones? That's the tin flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like-
so that one is a very fast pace. I'm actually surprised you like that one because that one is actually one of the easier classes to master. For anyone who's getting a Monster Hunter, we always recommend Sword and Shield as your very beginner friendly class because that is one of the easiest classes that covers both attack and defense very well, and you can solo any monster with the Sword and Shield.
Not gonna lie, I love the versatility of it, being able to jump or not jump, almost do like
Like a little bait.
slingshot attack. If you face a monster and you hold R2, L2, and then R2, I think, to charge it up, and then you do R1.
Um,
If you have enough, I think, damage done to your enemy or something like that, and
are
you
you talking about
target his weakness
Pearson
area,
damage? Yeah,
it does like
Pearson.
a slingshot where he jump on him. It does like a spin attack. It's almost like a one animation combo on its own. You don't do anything. Kind of
Yeah,
feels like
all the weapons have that. That's considered. That's the
uh,
new thing about Monster Hunter is the weak
yeah,
point damage.
yeah. So that was fun. Not it doesn't always work though. I think you need
Yes.
to charge it with, and that's again something that the game doesn't explain to me.
Yeah, it
These
doesn't
days,
explain weak point
these days,
damage, but
I am literally playing the game with two hands tied behind my back.
Okay.
I mean,
And the worst
I can
and the
understand.
worst offender is this one. You're gonna laugh. I took the bow, thinking it's gonna be fun. The charge bow. I did some.
Oh,
I literally did a circle and then square, charge it, and then circle and then charge it, and then square. I went close to beating an enemy like that. Long behold, when I went to the fucking training, I saw I had so much fucking what you call it skills with this weapon that I had no
yeah,
idea. You can do some 6 or 7 shots at the
Hmm.
same time. You like
Yep.
yeah.
I'm like, why is it so difficult to put it in the
That's
fucking
that's
menu?
well, you got to think about it. Each weapon getting its own separate tutorial is
Okay,
that's a lot
I got you, but why
because
is
they
it
all
so
play
difficult?
extremely differently.
But okay, if I take a bow and I take, let's say, sword and shield, give me a fucking menu where it says these are the skills for the bow and these are the skills for the sword and shield. Why must I go to the training just to discover that? Especially when I'm fighting enemies. It's a,
I
it's a
mean,
lot of,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
honest with you. It's going to take more than a. There's not a. I mean, I guess I can understand with a quick tutorial how to do basic combos, but I mean, like if you want to actually get to the nitty gritty of each weapon to actually be good, you better go to
I
that
need
damn
to
training
YouTube
area.
it. I need to YouTube it and then
Uh,
try
that works
to.
too. Monster Hunter is one of those community driven or games that are
It
driven
is.
by the community.
But let's stop. Hey, Pharaoh, move on from me.
All right. All right. So we got a lot of Monster Hunter talking here. Game drops in about a week and a half. I expect everyone to be there or be square. I might be a little late to the party, but I'm sure I'll get in there. Um,
You tried it yourself?
no, I haven't tried the demo, but I played Monster Hunter World, so I feel like I have a good idea of like the concept of the game.
Oh.
So, and I put some time into Monster Hunter World. It's like
Hmm.
not
So
like
you know how it feels as a newcomer then?
yeah, I put like 40 hours into it, but then it was like
I mean,
I don't really have like a solid group of people to play with. It's always a bunch of
Oh.
randoms, and I was like, nah, I'm good on
I
this.
don't think that would have been enjoyable, especially if they don't communicate well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was always randoms. Some people did talk, some people didn't. So it just kind of like, it wasn't really a great gameplay experience for me at the time when Worlds came out. So, but Wilds, being that it's crossplay, I know that, I'll be able to play with Kofi sometimes, and I don't got to be like the Monster Hunter master, but like if I can hop in and play with my boys every now and then, it's worth the 70 to me. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I'll definitely get into it. And Nappy will be on the PC Master Race, I'm sure, and he'll come in with his modded up character, making us look like peasants, and
It's not going to be modded. Oh, I'm not trying to get banned. No,
Hey.
no Monster
PC
Hunter.
modded race? PC modded race, it is.
I am definitely. You definitely don't want to mod. I do not want to be banned.
all right.
Actually,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that, yeah.
Hey,
actually.
if it helps us kill the monster, we ain't. It's nothing competitive about the game, is it?
I mean, that is still considered ruin the player's experience.
For who?
So, yeah,
Is it competitive?
It's not competitive as we can fight each other, but
Yeah, they need to go ahead with that then. Let y'all mod. If it ain't nothing competitive about it, I don't want to hear it.
Nah,
No, I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying there should not be bans placed on non-competitive games for modding. I'm sorry. Should not be a thing.
That ruins. It's like modding a Dark Souls like game almost.
Who cares? It's your individual experience.
Okay, maybe solo, yeah, but like.
Okay, so if we can hit up Nappy and be like, "Yo, this boss is a fucking beast, bro. Bring out that mod right quick." You think we mad? You think we mad?
And you need to grind this monster and this monster, craft these weapons, grab these elements, and there you go. Then you have a shot.
Yeah, you think we not gonna hit you up for drop the mod pack right quick? You know what I'm saying?
There's nobody would do it.
I'm just saying. It's a non-competitive environment. People would be grateful for some of these hard-ass bosses if someone dropped the mod pack and was like, "There y'all go."
That will be the one and only time I could play with you guys, because then I'll be put in purgatory.
No, I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying nobody would be upset about it. It wouldn't ruin their experience, is all I'm saying. Now, some people might be jealous that you have more gear than they have or something like that, but I don't really see... Huh?
And I'll be jealous that I'm in purgatory while all you guys get to play together.
Yeah. I'm not encouraging you to mod, Nappy. I'm just saying, speaking to the developers, who cares? It's a non-competitive game, is all I'm saying. Like, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and get into our topics today. Nappy's going to kick off this topic because I didn't really get to read much into it. But he wanted to go over Nintendo versus Palworld, which seems to have some type of update. So, Nappy, go ahead and kick that off. Let us know what we're rocking with here.
Hey, all right, guys. So, as you guys have not heard, I mean, a lot of people probably haven't heard, so it's okay. But there's an update on the Nintendo versus Palworld court case. So, Nintendo took a shotgun approach and decided to file 23 patents in the United States. As you notice, that there's only their patents that went through Japan, but no other countries. So when they filed these 23 patents in the United States, 22 out of 23 of them immediately got shot down. The one that stuck was surprising to me, which was the one talking about the monster mountain and riding monsters, which is concerning because if they actually, even though they were going to review it to see what it's more so about because the wording is a little funny. But if Nintendo was really to make a patent on riding monsters,
that kills like a million games.
That is so many games that allows you to ride monsters, which is just unfucking believable. And the fact of the matter is that, and it's crazy because Palworld is now on the Nintendo Switch.
Like, bro, Pokemon isn't even the first game to allow you to ride monsters. You were riding monsters in Mario with Yoshi.
I mean, yeah.
And there's probably games before that, but that's the first one that pops in my head is like, I remember riding Yoshi and Mario, and that was before Pokemon was really a thing.
Yeah, so that basically the patent it doesn't mean that the patent is permanent or the fact that it's in law. It just means that the United States is going to review it. Then again, Nintendo taking this shotgun approach with all these patents to try to take out Palworld is just,
you know what?
It's crazy to me.
I'm gonna take care of this real quick. I'm gonna just tweet Elon. You know what I'm saying? Get the Doge on him.
You're what?
Oh, you don't know? You don't know Elon running through the government, running amok right now. If he'll see something he don't like, I'll send him to the U.S. Patent Office right quick. Get that taken care of real quick.
Oh God, more people gonna get fired. But this whole patent thing is basically just to stop Palworld, because Palworld is doing extremely successful. It did extremely successful on PC. Did extremely successful on Xbox. I believe it came out on PlayStation recently, which is a good thing.
It did not do well on PlayStation.
It did not?
No, I didn't catch it on PlayStation.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, wow.
But that kind of happens. That kind of happens when you do the staggered release to platforms. So
I mean, they and Microsoft did give him a lot of money to give him the exclusivity. So, I mean, I understand.
Yeah,
But at the same time, though, like this patent thing and Nintendo taking this approach, it's honestly disgusting because all Nintendo has to do, or what is it, Pocket Pair or whatever the company is?
Pocket Pair is the company, yes, that does Palworld.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Pocket Pair. What was it? What was the other one that did Pokemon?
Game Freak?
Game Freak. All Game Freak got to do is make a good fucking Pokemon game.
Well, I don't think
I'm not saying.
All right, so I don't think Game Freak has been making bad Pokemon games. They've been limited by the Switch. Let's just keep it a buck. So they haven't had a chance to really do something special.
On the Switch. The Palworld is literally on the Switch now. So what's your excuse?
I'm sure it runs in Photoshop mode. You know it does.
Palworld is actually getting a mobile port.
Well, mobile phones are more powerful than the Switch right now.
That is true. I'll give you that, but still.
So I mean, I'm just saying, you know, it's running on Photoshop mode on the Switch right now. You already know it is.
I don't. Where is our Nintendo guy when we need him? He's the only one that can answer this question.
The Nintendo guy will not play no damn Palworld on the Switch. He knows better. That game,
it can run good.
You know it doesn't. You may
have a couple of pop-ins every now and then. Like all of a sudden, you have like this legendary pal just popping out of nowhere, one shot you, which will suck, but still playable.
Come on now, let's be real.
I mean,
how old is the Switch now?
What's that? 2016, 2025?
Yeah, 10-year-old piece of heart. And at the time it was at the time it was released, it was already underpowered.
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, I got its predecessor right here. Ooh, everyone forgot about this thing.
Yeah, it was underpowered at the time it released. So we're talking about 10 years later. The Palworld is not running smoothly on that thing.
Yeah, but anyway, Nintendo is taking up this lawsuit very seriously, trying to get the patents across the world to block out Palworld, which a lot of people are extremely upset about, and they think Nintendo needs to stop being a bully and just let Palworld shine, and they need to make a better game. So
I agree. And you know the real simple thing that would make people go crazy about Pokemon?
It would do live battles.
No. People would go crazy over this and act like they reinvented the whole fucking wheel. If they allowed you to do 6 moves instead of 4.
Actually, I can see that.
People would go crazy over that. You mean I could do 6 moves with my Pokemon instead of 4 now? Oh, like they would lose their mind. I'm telling you. That's not even amazing. But if they did that, the whole community would act like they fucking deserve a Nobel Peace Prize for that shit. I swear to fucking God they would. And you know it too.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But yeah, if you guys want to know my thoughts, Nintendo, you suck. Why are you make a good Pokemon game? Stop trying to sue Palworld and just make a good Pokemon game. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Now, I don't expect this to be a very long topic, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure Jubei and maybe Omar had some thoughts to contribute to this. So, Jubei, what are your thoughts, about Nintendo's continued bullying practices in regards to Palworld versus Pokemon?
They just don't want to lose market share on their one baby, bro. Like on their one thing that literally prints money. Like Pokemon prints money for the Nintendo company.
It's probably the biggest money printer because suckers like me and you, when a new one comes out, we buy both fucking versions of the game.
Yep. It's not even just from a game standpoint because you also got to think the kiosks.
Yeah.
I can't go to the grocery store without seeing a kiosk where I can buy Pokemon trading cards at. You know what I mean?
I think I'm starting to see that now around here too. More ways to purchase Pokemon cards. I'm starting to see Pokemon cards more frequently. As I go around, but we don't have kiosks up here, I think. But I am starting to see the Pokemon, like in the grocery store. I'm starting to see it more. Excuse me. So it's definitely starting to have more of a presence.
Yep, my daughter can literally go in, pick the exact pack she wants, and then put her little change in there and get cards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Like I just need them to chill. To be honest, what are they afraid of?
I mean, well, there's a Palworld TV show coming. There's definitely
afraid of a little competition for real.
And a Palworld mobile port for mobile phones.
I know we got the next topic up ahead where we're going to talk about state of play, but y'all saw that Digimon game, right? I mean, competition is coming.
Yeah. Ooh, I always was a Digimon fan over Pokemon. That's just me.
From a gameplay perspective, I was Digimon and Monster Rancher over Pokemon.
Oh, he
Max,
just might
Monster
put on
Rancher's
Monster
underrated.
Ranchers.
Monster Rancher was a better game than Pokemon was. I mean, you didn't have the same open world exploration, but as far as like the combat and stuff like that, and the fact that how you got new monsters, and the fact that you can like just throw disc in your PlayStation and get new, like, it was ahead of its time at the time. I mean, now it's kind of behind its time, but at the time it was ahead of its time. But yeah, Monster Rancher all day. Like, I would rather fight monsters on Monster Rancher than I would on Pokemon.
Yeah, because I mean, if anything, Pokemon infringes on Digimon. If anything,
Yeah,
that was first.
Yeah.
If you really want to get down to the nitty gritty.
Oh, that would be funny if Digimon start putting patterns on master slave type of monster. That would be hilarious.
Well, I do like with Digimon, you get one Digimon and you grow and evolve with that one Digimon. I do like that concept of it a little bit more than like I'm capturing all these Pokemon and like I have to make friends with all of them, and like some of them like me, some of them don't.
Nope. Some of them are HM slaves.
That's what I said. Yeah, some of them do like you, some of them don't. That's why I said, like I gotta make friends with. Some of them won't like me, and it's like I like
you ain't got no badges to tell me what to do, dog.
like I started watching the all grown up original cast of Digimon show. Like the episode's like an hour long or something like that. It's on Crunchyroll. And it was cool to watch, like, a Digimon, like, kind of break through after, you thought everything was all over, and, like, kind of mess with Tai, and Agumon pull up on the spot, like, hold up, that's still my homie. I was like, oh, shit, this is lit. Y'all should check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should check. If y'all haven't watched it, it's pretty good. It's like all the characters are growing up. They're, like, not adults, but they're, like,
older,
maybe, like, juniors in high school.
Okay.
So like they're like legitimately older, and they're like kind of like the digital world kind of breaking into the real world kind of forces the group back together because everyone has pretty much gone their separate ways. Like they've gone to different schools and they're living different lives and stuff like that. Some people are still together, some people aren't. Like you guys should check it out. It's pretty good if you were a fan of the original Digimon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So. But Omar,
I just
you weren't done. You ready? Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, just the biggest thing is we know their lawyers are strong. They're powerful. They got the ninjas in the office.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, Palworld is scratching the itch that
Pokemon
ain't been scratching for several years, man.
I
get it.
I am convinced.
They're genuinely scared.
I'm convinced. Like the Yakuza has some ownership stake in Nintendo, man. The way they do business, very mob like. I'm just saying, they be rough because people don't know. Like, Palworld is also a Japanese company, and the things that are going on with them in Japan, like, is like wild. Like Nintendo has explicitly told like other like famous people, other TV shows, like you can't talk about Palworld, and they're like, okay, like Nintendo really pulling that much weight that you telling people like across other media avenues that don't really care about the fact that you make games that they can't talk about Palworld.
Basically, it communicates them.
Yeah, like that's and the fact that they have that much power is crazy.
The crazy part is they can get away with it. That's the crazy part.
Like they've literally told like Japanese like pop stars and movie stars that like you can't talk about Palworld. That's crazy. And the fact that they like are actually listening, that's crazy. I'm telling you, they got some Yakuza people in there. Got to.
Well, Sony's starting to back up Palworld, so who knows? Sony may got their ninjas to stop Nintendo's ninjas.
You know what? But I think Sony is smart, and I think Sony is only supporting Palworld outside of Japan. I don't think they're supporting them inside of Japan.
You have to think Sony has been around for 135 years, bro. Like going on 136.
Shit, they might got some Yakuza in there too.
Exactly. I'm not talking about. So I'm talking about Nintendo. Sorry, Nintendo's been around since fucking 1889.
Yeah.
So it would not put it past me if they got some enforcers on payroll.
Yeah. I'm serious. I think they do. I ain't gonna hold you. At
Hmm.
this point, the way they be strong arming, bro, there's somebody working there besides a lawyer. Just saying.
But
Uh
what's the crazy part is, are there no law for that to prevent them from happening?
oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not, I'm not from Japan, so I don't know exactly.
Not that
So,
they're
Wait,
not a legitimate company, but I think I think they're just so ingrained into so many things in Japan that
yeah, they
they
just
just have that pull because they've been around for so long.
cultural relevance.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like
So
trying to tell your grandfather no, like you know what I mean? Like
yeah. So, but did you have any thoughts on it, Omar? I know you started talking.
it just it it's interesting to see what's gonna happen with this whole debacle. Because despite 22 being dismissed, there is still this one.
Yeah. And the one is kind of outrageous, right? The riding on the back of a monster, like we've been doing that since.
Which boggles my mind that what they're focusing on. Like it was first the whole ball thing.
Yeah.
They could they couldn't get that patent. Now they're focusing on riding the monster. Which yeah, every game like Horizon have riding monsters.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Which
you can go back to the early '80s. You could ride monsters. Like before Pokemon came out, you could ride
so
monsters.
and
oh, you could
the
ride monsters in Golden Axe. People forget that.
the
Yeah.
fact that the riding monster uh, went not per se went through, but like it have a chance to go through. That boggled my mind.
Okay.
And again, it it's basically bullying at this point, cause you're not doing anything with that. You not no you why and this is why competition need to be a thing. Instead of pushing Nintendo to create a game that rivals Palworld or even be better than Palworld, no, they would rather stay silent on that front and instead try to strong arm them.
Yeah,
It
they'd rather make more Pokemon that nobody cares about because now so many Pokemon that I just don't really care. Uh,
They're making Pokemon based off a chandelier. That was
yeah,
instead no, that's it. No, instead of actually doing something with, like for example, with Pokemon, we there are so many quality of life improvements
yeah, that's what I'm
we can
saying.
do.
Instead of
Like
making like 500 Pokemon, there shouldn't be any more than 300 Pokemon, and I think 300 is a stretch.
that's a difficult thing to do because of its fan base.
No, you
Because
don't need more Pokemon. You need better story. You need better gameplay. Like, like
because the issue is then you got down to so it all about the name brand, eh?
yeah, but I'm saying once you get to
But
300,
I think
there's a lot of variety you could do with 300 Pokemon. Like you can do a lot there.
and you're gonna have an issue with that because of literally this was an issue with the national deck,
Huh?
which they got literally destroyed for because they had to pick and choose which Pokemon to keep, which Pokemon not to have.
Oh, I'm not
And
saying
this
no,
was
no. Once they open Pandora's box, it's already open. But I'm saying they
yeah
should have never went past 300.
yeah. My thing is what they should have done, not go to old gen.
Like,
When you create new gen focus, like I have yet to own a Switch, but I have watched shit ton of YouTube playthroughs for Pokemon
yeah,
and Mario. And my takeaway is a brand new Pokemon game. They're excited. They go to free run on the map. What do they see? All gen stuff.
yeah. But I'm just
Like
saying, how many legendary Pokemon are there now? There's got to be like
they
20 of them. Got to be like 20 or 30 of them.
oh
Like that's too much. What makes them legendary anymore?
They are. There is literally now a section called sub-legendary
Yeah,
that they don't count as an actual legendary.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
then there are these monsters that look more like a Digimon than an actual Pokemon, which is from another dimension.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing too much.
That's
Too,
it. And if you want to fix it, one, cut off all gen. It's over. Move on from. So for me, it's not just all gen. It's play favorite. Why does this Pokemon get a Mega Evolution and the other one doesn't?
yeah,
Why does this Pokemon get what you call it? Get a pre-evolution, but the other one doesn't. It's all about favoritism.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, to me, what solidified for me that Nintendo is never gonna change is when they released, I think Sword and Shield. I'm not so sure if it's Sword and Shield or not. The latest one, Pokemon
Sword and Shield is not the latest one.
broken.
The
Like
latest one is Scarlet and Violet, and that was
oh,
way more
thank you.
broken than
Yeah.
Sword and Shield.
It's Scarlet, Violet, and then Arceus, right? Those are the last three.
I'm
Yeah,
not cutting
yeah.
yet. I'm talking cutting main game.
Yeah, but I'm just saying those are
the
the last three releases: Scarlet, Violet,
The one-
and
The
Arceus.
one where it's released so broken, it rivaled Cyberpunk. And what happened?
That's because
It broke
that's
it
because of the
broke
Switch.
seven.
Blame the Switch. I'm blaming the hardware at this point.
It-
We got a
it
Switch 2 on the
broke-
way.
No, but the issue is it broke sales record.
Yeah,
It
'Cause-
did.
'cause kids
People
don't-
didn't care.
because kids don't see the bugs that we see. You know, like
It was visible. Even I would have seen
Bro,
it. Now we're not doing that.
when we
You know, a child does not care.
I'm telling you, in the era that we grew up, we played nothing but broken games, but we never realized they were broken until we went back and played them 20 years later, and it's like, damn, that's a broken. We played broken games our whole in the early because they were limited by hardware, and they once the game was out, there was no update to patch it, so we grew up playing a lot of broken games, and as kids we overlooked a lot of shit. I'm telling you, if you go back and you play some of these old games in the complete state that they were in, no remaster, no we're re-releasing this. Like if you fire up a fucking Sega Genesis and play that's why they ended up having to do the Nintendo Golden Seal of Approval, because we were playing a shit ton of broken games back in the day. I'm just keeping it a buck. We were.
Yeah, when they came out and there was no updates.
Yeah, there was no updates. Some shits was broken. So I'm sure the same thing is going on with these kids. These kids are playing broken games and they don't even realize it.
But at the end of the day, I doubt Nintendo will change. Nintendo's gonna stay Nintendoing. This is how they got big. They're gonna strong arm it, and like all other companies, that's how the game is played.
Okay.
That's the reality. Like, what you gonna do? I had no idea that Palworld developers were Japanese.
Yeah, they're from Japan. Yep. And so they're dealing with a lot of bullshit over there.
It's interesting that even they can't have support from their own country like that mind-boggling
Yeah.
level of what the fuck Nintendo.
Yep. But that said, we can go ahead and jump into our second topic while Nappy disappears.
Did you see that another live service game is dying?
Yeah, I saw you dropped it in the chat. That game Hood. Wasn't that game based on Robin Hood or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Ish.
I mean, conceptually, yeah, T-Gang. Well, I guess mine green screen blocking it out, but T-Gang. So, yeah, Hood got canceled. Live service is tough, and I've been saying it for the longest. I've been saying it for the longest time. Make the game you want to make. If people attach themselves to it, add live service elements to that game. It's very hard to make it as a live service because, like, not only are you putting out the game, once you put out the game, you're still paying these developers to continue to create and make content for it, which, like, you don't know if this game is going to succeed or not. So you're taking on all this extra sunk cost on the hopes that this game takes off. Whereas if you just made the game is doing phenomenal, people want to keep playing it, okay, let's add a couple live service elements. Oh, they bite at these couple live service elements. All right, cool, let's try to take this thing full live service. That's how it should be. Once you already have a lot of people locked into your software already, but coming out and dropping live service games day one, that's not for the weak. You know, the last one to do it that I think is successful might be Sea of Thieves, right? To just drop as like a straight live service game.
Yep.
It's probably, and that was like
2016.
yeah, but that game was like in hot water for like when it first came out. Like it was not all that when it was like very bare bones. And then Microsoft also released Grounded, but I don't think Grounded is a wildly successful game. But yeah, I think Sea of Thieves is like the last one that just dropped strictly as a live service, and it just hit the ground, and well, it didn't just hit the ground, but it ended up being good over time. It's tough. It's tough. Like I don't think it's a smart thing to do. But that said, we can go ahead and jump into the state of play. So state of play had a bunch of different reactions to it. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off and say that I thought it was a good game show, but I'm not sure if it was a good PlayStation show. But we already knew that they weren't gonna have a lot of games this year. But I think people are just they want to see more of like what's coming from PlayStation, and the fact that it didn't show up on this stage. Left some people up in arms. But I do think it was a good show. I just don't know if it was a good PlayStation show just based on what the fan base was looking for.
I agree. This was not good, a fantastic show.
Yeah, it was a great game show, but I think it just didn't hit well with people looking for PlayStation games.
A lot of them multiplied with no issue. At the end of the day, PlayStation, so here's what's happening. And I've spoken to my friends, I've spoken to people that follow PlayStation, and it's borderline to expectation. You have 40 minutes of time, and yeah, it's a state of play, but they haven't had an actual game showcase for the longest now. Clearly, that's their new model. We just gotta accept it at this point in time.
Yeah.
And by doing so, you have your fan base begging for information. And by not giving them any information, their excitement is going to run wild. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was literally talk about Parasite Eve possibly making a return.
Yeah, but I don't think that would show up on. I'm not sure if that would show up on a PlayStation stage, particularly in February.
Because
I think that's more of a Summer Games Fest type announcement. That's more of a summer showcase type announcement if you're bringing a game like that back. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was a really good game show, but people got to really think about what time of year it is and what type of games show in this time of year.
What they need is a PlayStation showcase, not a showcase. That's the issue.
Yes.
Like, this is why the talk of the showcase is Saros. This is why when PlayStation revealed Intergalactic, that was the talk of the showcase. What other game did we see? God of Yote, game of the show. Like, when PlayStation revealed their big hitters, they're gonna be the talk of the show. But this showcase, as what is an amazing showcase, it needed, either a new IP, two new IPs, or one new IP, and showcasing something you hate, Pharaoh. Because I talked to you about it with Gear 5. Gameplay.
Yeah.
I need to see gameplay. What improvement from Ghost of Tsushima to Yote? What improvement from Death Stranding 1 to 2? I despise reveals without gameplay, but I understand why they do it. Because CGI is meant for people to know they're working on stuff
Well,
and to recruit and stuff like that. Like a lot of stuff that does in the industry, we don't know about. Like we all are not a fan of CGI, but we now all know that CGI is not how they recruit people.
I think.
Remark,
All
yeah.
right, so I'll say if Concord did well, and all these live service games did not get canceled over the past 2 years, I don't think we would have saw Ghost of Yote without gameplay. I think I think that studio would have been given a little bit more time to cook. But I think when you cancel that many games, I think you have to just let people know that you do have something in the pipe for them, and you can't. And because of that, you're not showing the game in the best state that you can, but you're giving people a taste in CGI so that they have an opportunity just to know that the game is coming.
But to me, at the end of the day, is this: um, things happen in the industry that we can like or dislike. Like for example, Days Gone Remastered. I'm absolutely not a fan of that, but I understand it's meant for the developers to gain experience because it's something quick and easy, and developers are capable of learning stuff by doing it. I understand. My biggest issue then becomes why Days Gone and not other games that could need a remaster. Look into your portfolio. Legend of Dragoon. Remaster that. My issue is the game, the choice. Like, I love Horizon, but we didn't need a remaster, nor The Last of Us. But I understand why they did it. Like, Last of Us remaster, so either remaster or remake, sold like insane when they released it with the show. So it's a strategy, but at the end of the day, for this showcase, they had amazing shows. The major ones are Lost Soul Aside. Mind you, this game started as a one man project.
See, I think it's
And
impressive that it was a one man project, but that game didn't show extremely impressive to me. But I am impressed at the effort that they're putting towards the game, but the game just doesn't the game didn't like wow me particularly.
what didn't it wow you with? What are you
It just
expecting?
it just didn't I didn't see anything that made me think that this was gonna be this great, fantastic game. Like I'm not saying it's gonna be a bad game. It just didn't wow me. Like it was just like, oh,
Okay.
here's Lost Soul Aside.
I'm curious what is gonna be reviewed. Because this game has been literally 10 years in the making.
Yeah, but it's one person developing it, and then you add people over time. So we don't, it's not like
And
it's not a
then
typical
and
dev
then
cycle.
it became part of China Hero Project.
Yeah,
I think a few hours ago, no, an hour or 6 or 8 ago, an interview came out for Lost Soul Aside for people they can look up. One game is Tides of Annihilation, I
that
think.
game looked great.
That game look masterful.
Yeah, that game looked great.
It's a hybrid between Devil May Cry and, to me, Valkyrie Elysium.
Yeah,
Mostly it's how you have summons that help you and support you, but they are not your main.
yeah,
Your main is you yourself with your sword, which
yeah.
is I love.
And I also like that
So amazing.
that game with like the kind of cyberpunk slash GTA type aesthetic. You're like
Which
driving
one?
through the city, going through the highway. I forgot the name of the game, but it looked really good. It kind of had like that cyberpunkish Grand Theft Auto type aesthetic. It was like a third person.
Oh yeah. I
They showed
know
like
what
right
you're
after
talking
Tides of
about.
Annihilation. That looked really
I
good.
know, I know what you're talking about. That one is an interesting one. I
Um,
was, I was not expecting the Grand Theft Auto what do you call it? Car riding. That
Yeah,
came out of left ear.
and then
So
the Supermassive games. That horror game looked great.
yeah,
With the space station. Um, there was like 4 or 5 games that I thought looked really like I thought it was a
the
good show. There was like 4 or 5 really great games. There was a
there
couple
was
games in
a
between that were like double A ish that kind of fit those set of taste. So like they kind of hit everything that you need to hit in a show. It was
also
just kind of missing on first party.
also a new Digimon game.
Yeah, Digimon game looked good. Yeah,
Yeah, and and even PlayStation for Party was there. It's just not enough.
yeah,
Why?
they had the
Why again?
they had the
It is
Soros game, but I think
sorry.
so. The thing with Soros, I don't think the trailer itself looked horrible, but as a studio that doesn't have a strong relationship with the PlayStation community yet, I just didn't think that was a good trailer to put out for them. Like
That was an that was an absolutely showing for it. Especially with what came after that. This is gonna be their um
2026 game.
not only that, it's their everything combined. They're taking every single experience from their uh developing for PlayStation because they develop a few games for PlayStation.
Uh huh.
Rather gone Isolation. No, not Alien Isolation. Some top-down game, shooter game, and then Returnal, and they're gonna build upon that. Also, they are taking away the roguelike aspect of it,
Yeah.
so it's
So
gonna be interesting what they. One thing
you see,
the Returnal did amazingly. It's a bullet hell.
so where I'm gonna push back on you, Omar, is that you're speaking from a perspective of someone who likes their games and you've played them. So you liked Returnal, right? But
I like Returnal,
Returnal,
yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people who played Returnal liked it. Most people who played it liked it. But a lot of PlayStation gamers did not partake in that particular title, so they don't have that relationship with Housemarque yet. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the trailer should have shown a little
But
bit more because you're trying to
yeah,
grow your fan
but
base a little bit
okay,
more. So like it
I
hits for
understand what your
you.
point is, but
Yeah,
this was a reveal. A
yeah,
reveal is always minuscule, sadly.
yeah. But I just wish for that particular studio with the because I know last week I was talking about Housemarque and I said I think they have a lot of potential and for that to be the trailer that they showed, I just don't think that it does a lot to put them in a strong position to where people who are not familiar with Housemarque are excited for the game. That's all I'm saying.
I
So
think
I wish they would have I wish they would have done them a little bit better, saved it for when they had a little bit more to show, to
but
really get people excited about the game.
the thing is, the issue is this have been now their MO. Look what they're doing. They did that with Death Stranding. They did that with
Yeah, but Death
what
Stranding has Kojima behind it.
no,
That's what
no,
I'm
but
saying.
I'm explaining. With Intergalactic, they
Neil
did that
Druckmann.
with God of Yote. They're doing it with every single new IP or
Well, Ghost
retelling
isn't a new
any
IP;
of
it's a
them.
sequel, so you can kind of get away with it with a sequel too.
Hey, we know
Sequel,
that
known
we know.
IPs, but you're talking about a new IP from a not
I
familiar
mean, you can.
studio.
I'm expecting. We should be expecting a Death Stranding gameplay breakdown. I
Yeah,
think it's
I
better
think Death
next
Stranding is
week.
getting its own show. I know Borderlands is supposed to be getting its own
Yeah,
show apparently from PlayStation.
yeah, which by assumption would mean they have the marketing right for it.
Yeah,
Another thing is we absolutely should get a breakdown for God of Yote because this game is releasing this year. Yote and Death Stranding both are releasing this year. So
yeah.
we
Well, we would hope
we
they are, but
no they
PlayStation
literally
puts
told
out
us
dates and they don't stick to them. And apparently, also, I know this isn't a topic, but apparently, GTA 6 uh, release date leaked, and apparently it's October 28th. So if that's the case, that also increases the chance that a game might be pushed, even if it's ready. So
I don't believe so. Here's the thing. I saw it from just one what um a news article, which is Otaku.
yeah,
So I don't know how credible that is to use them for it, because if it literally leaked, what don't you assume other other article would pick up on it and
hey,
leak
I
it
mean, people
themselves?
were talking about whatchamacallit got leaked a couple days ago. What is it? Metal Gear Solid got leaked a week ago, and the date was like 100% right.
Oh, I didn't see that, but okay.
Yeah,
It's gonna be interesting because we know the industry is waiting in anticipation to GTA 6, but also moving to move their pieces for GTA 6 because they
and
want to
then
be.
well, we're talking about Ghost of Yote releasing sequels. Yeah, PlayStation's a little bit more willing to release sequels in the fall window. Typically, new IPs they do in the spring window. So yeah, I mean, Ghost of Yote could drop in the
We
fall, but it's just a
we
lot of competition
know
in the fall. You
we
got
know
the new
about
Call of Duty
how
coming out. You got Grand Theft
it's
Auto
all
potentially coming out. It's tough
it's all
window.
about how far they are with the development. If they have everything ironed out, bugs, glitches, and everything in between, we don't know which one's gonna be released first, God of Yote
Because
or Kojima game.
I think the last big IP they released in the fall holiday window is God of War. Am I incorrect in that?
They released few. They released God of War and Horizon in the same year.
Yeah, but Horizon didn't drop in the fall, is what I'm saying. So
I'm not sure when Horizon dropped.
it dropped in the
I
spring. It dropped
think
like in
Horizon.
April. It like
I
Horizon dropped in the spring both times.
I
Both times
think
Horizon came out
Horizon.
dropped in the spring.
I think Horizon dropped before God of War, but I'm not sure.
Ragnarok dropped in the fall. It dropped like in November or something like that, from what I remember. I mean, y'all can fact check me, but pretty
Hey,
sure.
Navi is at work. I mean
Um,
PlayStation.
the
Yeah,
only the
yeah.
only ones that I know that dropped in the fall recently for PlayStation is God of War and Spider Man. As like far as like big IP type games.
Did you check Nappy or do I need to check?
No, I was gonna say, I'm trying to look for it now. See what the big IP games you guys were going on.
Horizon Forbidden West that released. Uh,
It's like that's a weird topic to try to search. The big IPs that have released recently.
February 18th, 2022. Is when that released. So that's like winter, springish. And then I remember Zero Dawn also released in the spring because it released at the same time as Breath of the Wild. And then yeah, I think it's just Spider Man and God of War that are recently released in the fall window. Maybe Demon Souls. That's like a remake. That's another big IP.
Last PlayStation big IP to release, because there's like a bunch of different answers. Technically, Astro Buys was their last
That released in August. That's not the fall. That's summer.
IP to release fall 2024. I mean, no, August is still August is summer. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
summer. August is summer. Fall starts late September.
What games were to release? That Stellar Blaze didn't come up on 2020. No, the Stellar Blaze did come out 2024, but
That came in the summer. That came like late spring, summer. Stellar Blade came out late spring, summer. Rise of Ronin came out late spring, summer. As I said, they don't really release like their PlayStation doesn't release their biggest games typically in the late fall window. They usually don't compete with those big live service games that typically drop in the fall window.
I'm having a hard time finding one, so
yeah, it's just not their typical MO. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if Ghost of Yote really, unless it drops late summer. I don't see it. Because even Ghost of Tsushima was like a summer release.
The release date, all I'm seeing is 2025. It doesn't have an actual.
Yeah, they don't have
And
PlayStation puts a year mark on there, but they don't always hit that year mark. They always put it out there.
They have not two, three or more IPs relating this year from PlayStation alone. You have Ghost of Yote, you have what you call it, Death Stranding, and you have Lost on the Side.
I don't know if Death Stranding releases it. I would think it would. I would.
Both, no, all three are releasing this year.
Okay.
They with
I would say
with,
I would say 2 of the 3 released this year at most.
they are all three releasing this year, unless what you call it, GTA 6 goes
But
into.
PlayStation is famous for not keeping their release dates. So that's like when they put out a release date, especially when they only give the year, they don't actually give like a actual hard date. I don't go for it.
They have not breakdown gameplay for God of Yote and what you call it, Death Stranding. I am expecting we already got.
But we saw Death Stranding 2 gameplay last year at the Game Awards. We saw a little bit of it.
We are getting a Death Stranding 2 not show, but like
I think that shows up at the Summer Games Fest stage. I don't think it shows up at a State of Play.
We have a date for a showcase for Death Stranding.
Oh, we do?
Oh, I forgot when, but we have one. So what I think is gonna happen is first they're gonna showcase Death Stranding 2. They're gonna do that show a State of Play for what you call it, Borderlands 4, and then either we're gonna get a showcase for an actual showcase, because apparently there's rumors PlayStation debating between a showcase or another State of Play. Either we're gonna get an actual showcase and then we get the reveal for all their new games, and then some like God of Yote, or we're gonna get a State of Play where just strictly for God of Yote. They did that with God of War, they did that with Spider-Man, they did that with the Rising.
Yeah, but also with God of War, they gave us a year for God of War, and it came out like 2 years later.
Yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with this one.
So
it's gonna be interesting. But they have a lot of what you call it, pawns on their hand. It's just how they're gonna use them.
okay. All right, Mr. PS5 Pro Man. What were your thoughts when you sat back and you just looked at the games that would just be PS5 Pro enhanced on your console in the next coming months? What were your thoughts, Jubei?
As you know, if it's a multi-plat, I'm getting it on Xbox. There's no in between on that for me. So
Okay.
I think the biggest thing though is just how just not transparent they are. I mean, I get it, they have business or whatever, but come on, man. Like the fact that I had to go through and look at all this extra shit to be like, oh yeah, is this gonna come to Xbox? Or
you see how they changed the wording up? So they changed up the wording to make it sound like it's strictly for the PlayStation 5. There was a couple games that said developed for the PlayStation 5, like it's being developed specifically for their hardware and their hardware alone, but it turned out to be a full multi-plat. New language.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you paid attention to it, but I saw it a couple times.
Yeah, they out here playing, bro. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Ugh. I just wish they weren't being petty about it.
But how did you rate the show? Did you think it was a good PlayStation show?
No, it's absolutely not a good PlayStation.
But you did like a lot of games that showed up there. Like what were your?
Absolutely.
Okay.
95% of those games, I'm gonna be buying on Xbox.
Everything except that little fish game, I was like, this doesn't need to be here.
Yeah,
That was the only one
Like, I
I was
mean,
like, this one doesn't need to be here.
it's
But
when you hold it to the standard of a Sony show, it's not very good. As
see,
a
the thing
third
is,
party show, or just as a show just based around games, when you look at it that way, yeah, it's great.
all right.
But for Sony to sit here and hype up things and then this is what we end up getting, it's just kind of crazy.
All right, so I'm gonna say this. I don't think we're holding them to the standard of a Sony show because in a typical year, even when Sony was cranking out games, they typically only released 2 a year, so they weren't showing you a ton of games every year. They never were. I think we're now holding them to the Xbox Nintendo standard, where Nintendo shows you a bunch of games every year, and now Xbox starting to show you a bunch of games every year, and now we're looking at PlayStation, who has traditionally not made a bunch of games every year. They've made deals with people, and they've did some money hats to do some publishing, get some publishing rights, and things like that. But first party wise, they've only really done 1 or 2 games a year on average on the normal. It was rare for them to release 3 games in a year. I'm not talking about MLB The Show. We're not
Right.
counting that one. So, but I'm saying, like, typically we weren't getting a ton of games for PlayStation, even when everything was operating smoothly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if we're holding them to the PlayStation standard anymore. I think we're holding them to the standard of the other platform holders around them, but we're calling it the PlayStation standard because PlayStation they have been noticeably worse regardless of what Xbox and Nintendo were doing. They've just been worse on their own. And I think we've all noticed that part of it. That they haven't quite been their best in the past couple years. Like, even when they did the last showcase they showed a fucking movie. Like, the last one that they were brave enough to call a showcase. So yeah, they've noticeably fallen off, but I don't think we're holding them to the Sony standard right now. Because, like I said, I think that was a really good show, especially for the time of year. For February, that's a really good show. That's what I would say.
Yeah, like I said, as long as you're just not looking at it like a Sony showcase, you know what I mean? Like, and more so just something with game announcements in it.
Like, don't let that developer direct get y'all twisted, man. Like, we don't typically, like, nobody else is doing that this time of year, like showing, those type of games at this point in the year. Typically, you save that, you build up to, like, March, you start showing those type of games, and then May, you show, like, the best of what you got. You blow your whole wad in like, May, June, when the game showcase season kicks off. So, just something to think about. Anything else, Juve?
Like I said, it's.
Oh, you know what? I want to ask you this, being that you're Captain Xbox. There was a couple games that in previous weeks were announced to come over to PlayStation. How did you feel not seeing any of those games on the State of Play stage?
Why would Sony directly do that?
I'm just asking how you feel about it. Because I know that people were talking about this game might be there, that game might be there, and for not a single game from Xbox to show up on the PlayStation stage. What were your thoughts? As Captain Xbox.
I'm not surprised. Like, one of them is going to be one side's definitely trying to play nice, but I'm not surprised.
I don't think it's playing nice. Like, the fact that Xbox wasn't on their stage tells me that it's not a nice. I don't think PlayStation likes what Xbox is doing, but, like, as far as, like, policies go, like, you have your store policy, and there's nothing you can do if Xbox follows the store policy and decides to publish their game on your platform. But I don't think they're quite happy about it. Because if they were happy about it, I think, maybe Forza shows up there at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Or an Age game, because Age doesn't really compete with anything on the PlayStation and PlayStation's library.
Did they showcase?
Right.
Did they showcase Sea of Thieves?
No, Sea of Thieves came out Sea of Thieves got announced, and like 2 weeks later, it was on the PlayStation. They didn't waste no time, like actually putting it on the PlayStation from the time they announced, from the time Xbox announced it. So I don't think it made a state of play. No, it was like really fast. And they did those 4 games last year. Was it last year they did the 4 games? Was that last year? I think it was. The Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, and what else? What, Pentiment?
Yep.
It's like all those games like dropped like damn near at the same time. Like, oh, we're putting these games on PlayStation. Oh, they'll be there tomorrow. So,
Yeah, it was very like quick and like 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 not dismissive, but just like it just wasn't. There was not a lot of fanfare.
it wasn't a lot of build up to it.
Yeah. Yep. So like I said, I'm not surprised because it's like they're not gonna do that. I'm kind of disappointed that they wouldn't show those things. I mean, like they're still gonna get a 30% cut. I mean, that's not going anywhere.
Told you what Xbox is doing. They're not playing nice. They're not playing nice. They're being
It just
assholes.
looks like they are on the surface. It looks like they're playing nice on the surface.
Phil is playing nice in people's face on these interviews. But what they're doing is not nice at all. It is a strategy we have seen Microsoft employ before to kind of weasel their way in and take over your platform. It's just yeah. It works, but that's what they're doing. But Nappy, PC Master Race, all the games are coming to you. What did you think when you saw this PlayStation Showcase? Did you watch the PlayStation Showcase?
Yeah, I watched it. I'm going to be the oddball of this because I just was happy to see a lot of hack and slash games.
Yeah, like I said, I thought it was a good show.
I mean, we all are.
Yeah, we all said it was a good show.
We are tired from the troll genre for a bit.
Yeah, like the hack and slash is finally coming back. Only miss you. I was
Onimusha looked really good. See, that show was so good that none of us talked about Onimusha, and that game looked good.
I think, but that's the thing. Expectation kills excitement. That's what it boils down to.
I mean, okay, like I said, what I was paying attention to as a PC gamer was Onimusha. I was happy with that. Splitgate 2 looked all right. Was actually, I did play a lot of Splitgate. The new Sonic racing game was actually caught my eye because it looks like we may finally actually get a good Sonic racing game that reminds me of Sega All-Star Racing's Transform, where they actually have the transform abilities, and they even brought back Jet with the little hoverboards.
Okay.
So I was like, that like excited me about it. The fact that there's like a lot of commotion talked about, like, is it a good show or bad show? I thought it was a decent show. I mean, also we got a Dragon Yakuza game. Like, we got a pirate game.
Yeah, I said it was a good show. For games, it was a good show. For PlayStation, because their fan base is looking for something specific from PlayStation, they are disappointed in what they didn't see versus what was shown. But I think it was a very good show.
What do you guys want to see? Like, do you want them to
they want to see a couple first. They want to see a roadmap, man. They don't know anything that's coming out beyond like 2 or 3 games.
I mean, I guess they should serve a roadmap. I mean, they said 2025 is probably not good enough for them, but as far as like games go, I thought I was
like, for instance, as a fan, I want to know that like you're still going to release Wolverine. Like, you need to give me some hope there, because after you got hacked, and
Wolverine is probably 2026.
I mean, you say that.
They said they have to read the whole thing from scratch.
Why would they release Wolverine this year when they have so
Bro,
many games?
my concern is that the game doesn't come out at all. And the reason that is my particular concern is because they got hacked and the game got leaked, and because of that they have to pretty much rebuild the game. Like, whatever they were originally intending, they got to kind of redo it.
But we don't know what they have to rebuild and what not.
Yes, but I don't need to know that, but I do know that they need to rebuild. And my concern is that is added development cost. And when you're licensing a game from Disney and you have to pay those royalties back on top of selling enough copies to make a profit, that becomes even more difficult. So it increases my concern of like, is this game even going to come out? Because how am I going to turn a profit on this product? So it's a concern for me, and I would like to see something that would give me hope that the game is coming. I'm not rooting for the game to not come out. I want to see the game come out. So I like that's one of the things that like in these state of plays, when a state of play comes out, and we haven't seen anything of the game outside of the hacks since like what 2022. So I would like to see something that gives me hope in regards to this title. I didn't have any concerns about the game coming out until the Insomniac hack. But now that you've had that hack, I do have concerns because I do know that Wolverine is not a cheap license. It's probably the second most expensive Marvel license after Spider-Man. So, it concerns me. I would be lying if I said it didn't. So that's a game that I want to see. You show me something that gives me hope that the game is still coming. That it's not possibly in a state where it could be canceled. So it's a game I'm genuinely worried about, and I want to see it.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying. I mean,
You're working on a lot of assumption with this one. It's just a matter of wait and see.
I'm not assuming that the game is canceled, but I'm hoping that it isn't because I understand licensing cost and how that can. It's not just making your own IP and making money. If it was their own IP, I wouldn't necessarily be too concerned. But because it's Disney's IP and it's a pretty expensive one, I'm definitely concerned. I'm just saying, I am.
yeah. I mean, I guess that's what you guys looking for. I mean, I just thought it was a good show because I was like, oh, there's some games that they worked on, some old classic games, some new games. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it wasn't like I don't know. Like, I really don't know what Sony people want now. If that was not Sony focused, then
there was nothing. There was only one game there from Sony first party.
Basically, what we want is an actual Sony showcase. Like, show us what Horrible is working on, Santa Monica is working on, gameplay for Intergalactic, gameplay for what you call it, Death Training 2, and all the stuff. Like, show us a roadmap. That's what we want. We got our roadmap before. That roadmap is finished. We got Horizon, we got Demon's Souls, we got every single game that was showcased on the showcase, no pun intended, except for Little Devil Inside, which
and Wolverine.
At this point, that game might as well be what you call it, cancelled. Wolverine came after. And now we're waiting on the next roadmap. And we've been getting it trickle, kind of like trickling the truth bit by bit. And we're waiting on an actual showcase. This was a state of play, 40 minutes of amazing gameplay, yes, but was still state of play, not showcase. And that's what the issue is.
okay, so you guys want that Sony produced, Sony published for Sony, only for PlayStation fans, only for PlayStation fans, no one else. Like,
Not no one else, just what is the company that we invested in is making for us, the gamers.
Yeah, they want to know why they bought a PlayStation. Basically,
I got you.
Like, what makes their console? What's gonna make their console unique? What titles?
I didn't buy my console for multiplat. For multiplat, I have a PC. If I wanna play on it, but I bought my console for, believe it or not, exclusivity.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I thought the console wars was dead at this point, but
It's not. But it's not about console war. I didn't even mention the console war. That's the thing.
I mean, so I get what you're saying because there's some of the exclusive best experience games you expect to play on your PlayStation, but you haven't heard from anything about those exclusive titles. So I
Like for
guess
example, Teleblade. I played that day one. I think day one or after a while. I think I'm not sure, but still way better than needing to wait until it goes elsewhere or not. Like I at least have the option to play this game, and that's what I'm talking about. What is PlayStation creating for the platform? What
Mm,
else other people are getting? That's no issue. Like for example, Lost Aside is coming on PC. You do you, but at least I know it's also on PlayStation, so I can play that day one.
I got you. I
Okay.
mean, I guess I can understand it. I mean, I guess if you guys want more valid reasons to or watch a show to see like why you got your PlayStation, if they come out everywhere, now you guys feel like why did I get my PlayStation when I could just these games were going to come out everywhere it became
No, no, it's not.
available.
It's not an everywhere thing. They just want to know what PlayStation is making.
Yes.
Yeah, what PlayStation is making.
Yes.
Okay, then. So they just want to know what PlayStation is making, not what all these other parties are making.
No, they're excited about
Uh,
that. Like they're excited about those games too. It's just that when PlayStation doesn't show up to their own show, it just makes it a disappointment.
Yeah, I literally said that the showcase was amazing. A lot of games I wanna play, but at a PlayStation showcase, that was a disappointment. That's it.
okay. So not showing up to your own showcase. Okay, I got what you're saying. Okay, I think I get it. I get it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I don't have a loyalty to anybody. I'm
no,
just
You're loyal to
it's
Steam.
it's not a loyalty.
You're
I
loyal to
think it's
Steam, right?
because I think it's
kind
because
of.
your
Yeah.
PC master rate.
But the
That's
thing is,
why
you're
you
used to
go.
Steam not making games. So because you're used to
Yeah,
Steam not making games, you don't have an expectation of like, I'm not into Steam because Steam makes games. I'm into Steam because Steam is fucking awesome.
I mean,
Different mindset.
If they make Half-Life 3, we all be jumping out of our seats.
Yeah, but they make like one game a generation basically. Like they make a game like a decade. Feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, and they always they avoid the number 3 at all cost.
Yeah. So
as a
So,
PC guy, you're gonna get everything. Heck, there are PC exclusive games.
oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah, there
There
are, but
are.
usually those are usually like a lot of smaller like indie titles that are like PC exclusives and
Or adult
eventually they do
games.
find. Okay, we're not going to talk about the adult games.
I said or smaller games or adult games.
I'm not talking about the adult games. I'm just talking about there are literally strictly exclusive games on PC. Heck, you guys invented exclusivity with what you call early access.
Yeah. And adult games does not only mean like the little porn games y'all little people like. There's also like games that are extremely gory and graphic that wouldn't just pass ESRB and make it to console.
Yeah, yeah, we kind of don't have to worry about ESRBs. We just release the game
Yeah.
and it just goes on from there.
So
But yeah, I think I get it. For PlayStation is to create a showcase, but not show up to their own showcase to show anything, I can see how that can be bad.
yeah.
Unless PlayStation wants to take like a back seat, just provide the platform and just let other people.
I think they may be transitioning to that because that's kind of what they originally did. But we'll see. Because I mean, once you cancel 10 games, it's kind of hard to get all of them studios back up and running on a new game and fund all of that.
I'm gonna say because PlayStation 2 was like one of the best selling consoles, and there was so many third party.
Yeah,
titles
they
for
didn't make it. They didn't make a
PlayStation.
ton of games
I
during the
gotta talk
PlayStation 2 era.
that. I forgot which one it was. Either not Sean Layden, Herman Holt or Jim Ryan. But or even the new guy. But apparently the 10 exclusive, the 10 live service games are not, how do I say that? Are not at the price of a single player game. So everything single player is still being made. They just added 10 live service games.
Everything is at the price of something, Omar. They only have so much staff. Like Everything's at the
Hey,
price of something.
that's
I
their
mean,
word. That's not mine. But
yeah, that's their words, but I mean, you only have so much staff. You can only allocate so many resources. I mean, unless you're telling me that
they,
they like with those 10 live service games, you're telling me they doubled their staff to make
I
that a thing
mean,
where they didn't have to compromise.
if
But
you compare Insomniac before and after PlayStation purchase, they grew exponentially. Housemark, they grew. Every single
yeah,
thing.
that's normal though. That's normal for the studio to grow, but to grow to the capacity that they could do multiple games at once, that doesn't happen overnight. That takes a little bit of time.
In, Insomniac was working on 2, 3, maybe even 4 projects at once.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
that was after they already released a couple games though under PlayStation. So they grew they grew into that. They didn't just like hit the ground running with that as
They were
well.
working at apparently they were working at Spider-Man 2 and what you call it that Castle Spider-Man live service game
Great Web.
at
Yeah,
the same
that got
time,
canceled.
and Wolverine, and there is a rumored what you call it Venom game.
Yeah.
So at least
But 3 of those
at
games are taking
minimum
place on the same map.
3 games at minimum.
Yeah, but 3 of those games are taking place on the same map. So that kind of like halves how much development you have to do. Great Web, Spider-Man's, all that takes place in New York. So it's not nearly as much dev time needed as if you were building a game from scratch. That's why they were able to turn out so many Spider-Man so fast. They did like what 3 Spider-Mans in like 4 years, right? You had Spider-Man.
Sorry?
Spider-Man came out what 2018 or 2019?
Are you talking about the Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, it was like a 3-4 year window between those games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like 3-year window each game.
no, it wasn't no 3 year window between each game. The Spider-Man games didn't release over 9 years. They released over like 5 or 6 years.
Well, you gotta remember I'm a PC guy, so you gotta.
Oh yeah, you talking about the ports? Yeah, but I'm saying like Spider-Man to Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, that all took place within like a 5-6 year window. All 3 of those games because you're working on the same map. So you're not really, it's not as much work. So it doesn't require as much dev time to churn it out. You're able to reuse a ton of assets.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I'm sure it was the same thing with Great Web. So it was like kind of like able to do quick turn. Because I know they add, like, as I know between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, they added like another borough or two to make the map a little bit bigger, but they were still operating within the same map mainly.
They added a new section from Miles Morales had a section and Peter had a section, so the map overall was bigger.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, we hit the state of play topic on the head. We will transition to our final topic of the day, which would be boom. Why is this like that? All right, there we go. We just, I guess, lock it in. That's why I was like that. The Phil Spencer interview. I guess this is in regards to the Xbox Era interview because it seems like he did like a shotgun of interviews last month, and these content creators have staggered their releases of these interviews. No, this
Not Iconera.
Xbox Era.
Xbox Era.
Yeah, but they held on to it. They held on to it for like a week and a half because it was.
Oh, okay, that explains why.
Yeah, they held on to it.
No idea.
So like, cause like I've watched a couple of these Phil Spencer interviews, and the questions are like, and the answers are like generally like similar, very close to the same. So like all these interviews, and like Phil Spencer has like on the same shirt and jacket at a lot of these interviews. So I think he did a couple of them in one day. And it got staggered. But yeah, so there were some things that I guess the community acted as if he was saying something new, but the more he talks, the more the things he says catches the ear of people who are, I guess not, who are passively listening. But we saw the developer direct, and we saw the PlayStation logo pop up quite a bit. I think we saw the Steam logo pop up that it was coming to PC, or Windows PC is usually what they show. And during the interview, he said that you're gonna see other platforms logos a lot more on our shows because we're gonna be. I mean, it makes sense. They own Activision now, and they're doing they're doing a lot more, third party development over there. So, being that they're largest publisher in the world, so I don't think anything he said was a surprise, but it got the attention of certain people. And people on the panel was like, "Hey, man, you gotta throw this in." So I was like, "All right, cool, let's throw it in." So, I'll throw this to Captain Xbox. Did you watch the Xbox era interview, or did you listen to it?
I did.
What were your thoughts when you heard Phil Spencer speak about the things they asked him about?
I mean, him just saying, hey, we're not trying to convince them to switch to Xbox at this point. It was just kind of I wouldn't say sobering, but it's just like, oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Like it just added a little bit more context to why they're moving in this multi-plat direction.
Yeah, because
I don't know why they wanted to hold on to it for a couple of weeks before just dropping it, because then people wouldn't be as asking all these questions. But
yeah, so they're going to dominate with software. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
So
and they're a software company. Why are we surprised?
So they did the same thing with the Office when they put it on Apple. Now, guess what? Nobody uses any other type of Office software. They only use Apple. Thank you, Innate. I brought up Omar's volume. So yeah, I mean it's just what they do. They use they try to dominate with software. While still making hardware, as we see with the Surface tablet. They're not the number one tablet in the market, not even close, but they still do their thing there. Any other thing that you saw from the Phil Spencer interview that you wanted to hit on?
Nothing like on his shelf or anything like that. So no.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dang, no
reveals.
No handheld beta up there or anything like that. Yeah. So unfortunate.
Yeah, nope.
Do you think that we hear anything about hardware, Elite 3 or handheld or anything like that in the coming months?
I feel like their next gen is going to start in 2026. We're going to get all those handheld details here.
Now
at E3 this year, I think.
Do you think it happens at E3 because Xbox is starting to do a lot more shows? Like I've heard rumors that there's going to be another show pretty soon that's not the Xbox at ID show.
I think that's neat.
And then you also have the Game Awards. They revealed hardware there before, so
they have. I don't think they'll wait till the end of the year if it's coming next year, though.
I mean, they waited to the end of the year for the Xbox Series, and they dropped it the following year.
I guess. I mean, you're not wrong. So.
I'm just saying because they have so many games to show at their games showcase now. I just wonder if they're gonna show hardware, like kind of interrupt the flow of the games to show hardware.
I think they could. Here's what they should do. If they're gonna do that, they should save it to the end.
So
you know what I mean. So
or just have
one of those things.
They could do a special.
Here's this one more thing.
They could do a special hardware show, especially if they're doing a handheld and a console at the same time. Like if you're gonna have if you're gonna have like a under the TV box, and you're gonna have a mobile handheld, you could do like a dedicated show where you drop the news about those two platforms, and you can announce the Elite 3 controller all at once and get all your hardware news out the way at one time, and then open up pre-orders.
I feel you. Yeah, that makes logical sense to me.
So it just doesn't interrupt with the flow of games. They have so many games now, like so many games that they can't even show everything at their showcase. That's why you got the developer direct now, and that's why they're talking about maybe doing other shows down the road leading up to their summer showcase because they have too many games to show.
Correct.
And they still have to cater to their third-party partners at these shows as well. Like, you got to show some of the third-party games on the show too, because you got to support them. So, I think it's just there isn't I don't think there's a great place to show hardware on their summer showcase stage, especially how good the last show was. Like, don't mess up the flow with some hardware that maybe like people don't care about hardware as much anymore, in the sense of like your live service players are still playing on like Xbox Ones and PS4s and shit. Like, the hardware is not as much of a driver as it used to be. Right. So I'm like, just don't mess that flow up. That's kind of how I kind of see it at the moment. And then all the cloud stuff, and yeah, I think they should do it separate. And there's a lot to talk about if you're doing the handheld and the console.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a little tangent. But yeah, any other thoughts regarding the Phil Spencer interview?
No, I just like how candid he was, to be honest. Yeah. It was like a real legit thing. I'm like, yeah, like I see what he's doing. That's cool. Yeah, like I'm just excited to see what else we get out of this. And he literally was just like, yeah, we're just gonna we can say the full slate's coming. Like, we're not gonna.
I don't think he said full slate though, did he?
I mean, he did not say full slate.
He did not say it.
I mean, people need to be anticipating the full slate happening. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, you can anticipate. I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be very. I'm still of the mind that it's going to be very much like Disney. Disney releases things everywhere, but they have curated content just for them. Like South of Midnight is just on Xbox for now.
Right.
I could see, like things like that. Like, I can see Xbox having select titles. Like, what? At the developer direct, all but one title was going everywhere. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I could see it continuing to be like that, where you have your showcase and maybe 80 or 90% of the games are going to be everywhere, but you'll have the one or two games that are just for the Xbox. I'm of that mind that they're going to have curated content specifically for the Xbox. It may not be the biggest AAA game. I'm not saying that it's going to be that, but it may be a game like South of Midnight, where it's a game that everyone's pretty excited to play. It's a new IP, but we don't necessarily know how well it's going to do, so we'll just do it on the Xbox for now and save ourselves the porting money.
I need South of Midnight or PlayStation, but I know it's not gonna come. I think it's way too small of a team, way too small of a game to hit PlayStation. I'm absolutely playing it day one on PC though.
Okay. All right, but now that you're were you done, Jubei?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So now that you're talking, Omar, what were your thoughts about the Phil Spencer interview? You're the one that brought this up as a topic, so I'm sure you have some thoughts.
I mean, it's just confirmation that it's not just Game of Live service. It's just everything is gonna go on PlayStation and Nintendo. So it's gonna be interesting to see if it's gonna be like day and date or what you call it after releasing. So kind of like what PlayStation is doing with PC.
Yeah,
They released that on Xbox and maybe everywhere else, and they released on PlayStation.
I think it's situational. I
Uh,
think some games will
do you
eventually.
think?
I think
Do
some
you
games will
think the
eventually make
new?
it over. But like Doom is day one. Doom
Do
is
you
day one
think
on
the new?
PlayStation.
Do you think the new Gears is gonna go on PlayStation?
I would say no.
I would say yes. Do you think Fable is hitting PlayStation?
I would say Fable more likely than Gears. And the
I
reason, the
think
reason, the reason that the reason that I say I'm not high on Gears going to PlayStation is because you don't have the other Gears games on PlayStation yet.
really, it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna do it. Because
So
with Gears E-Day, that's literally the beginning. So you can play E-Day and not knowing anything about the story.
you can, but at the same time, you're gonna play E-Day and have nothing to follow it up with. And if they release, if unless they release,
Unless they
unless
release
they
But
re-
there's
everything
gonna
on
be
unless
there's
they
gonna be a
remake,
remaster of the
yeah,
trilogy, bro.
unless they, yes, exactly, and it can't be a remaster trilogy. They gotta do the Ultimate Edition treatment to 2 and 3 also if they're gonna do that. That's my hold. Like we had this conversation I think last week about Gears. That's my hold up. Is that if you're gonna bring Gears over there, then you have to address 2 and 3 and make them portable to the PlayStation. So that's why I said I'm not sure. I can see Fable because Fable's more of like a reboot, and you don't have to put the old Fable games on PlayStation for any reason at all because they're kind of more like a anthology than they are like direct sequels. Like they take place in the same world, but they're not necessarily connected. Um, so so that's kind of where I can see it, when it comes to that. So I can see Fable, I can see Halo going before I can see Gears going because you already have the Master Chief Collection.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't want to see Fable go, to be honest. It's such an Xbox game.
Such a PC game.
I mean, it is, but it's like that was on the OG Xbox. That's been on like playable on every Xbox since. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see that. I can see, like I said, Master Chief Collection and Halo Infinite before Gears is what I would say. I just think enough work hasn't been done to move those games over to PlayStation properly. Is where I'm at with that one. But yeah. Hellblade 2, can see that going over. We already know Outer Worlds is going over. So
I don't need Hellblade 2, no thank you.
Damn, what's wrong with Hellblade 2, man?
You need that Hellblade 2, bro. Stop playing.
Terrible game.
It's
Terrible
not a
game.
terrible. Stop saying it's terrible. Stop it.
I played it. I know what I did.
Okay.
but yeah. So I can see, more games like that coming over. I can see Starfield making it over. See that making it over.
Yeah. Starfield needs all the help it can get.
No, it doesn't. It sold incredibly well on PC.
Yeah. Nobody's playing it.
It's a single player. It's a single player game. Why are you gonna keep playing it after you beat it?
I mean that whole loop that they set up was not much of a loop.
Yeah, I mean, I think unless you're talking about adding some live service elements, kind of turning it into an online type game, I think it's quite normal for you to beat it and for people to stop playing it.
Yeah, and the game did not have that much. They did not have good mod support, which was like
Creation Engine 2.0 kind of killed the mod support.
Yeah, it was like that was like what made Skyrim last for so long. Why reason why people kept on playing Skyrim over and over and over again.
Yeah. But I'm sure that they are going to be doing the work necessary so that Creation Engine 2.0 can have similar mod support to the original Creation Engine. just gonna take some time.
I mean, like, I really like the Doom mod they came out with. It was actually really fun. Like the official, what that was the sponsored one was pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And since you started talking, Nappy, and did you watch the Phil Spencer interview? One, and if you did you have any thoughts regarding it?
Believe it or not, I have not watched the Phil Spencer.
I can believe it. You are PCMR. You are not part of the console war race, so I can see that you didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, this was like what during Monster Hunter Wilds, man. Like
it dropped. I think the interview dropped on Friday or Saturday. Like I just went on to YouTube and I just saw that the interview was like popped up on my.
That was like Friday was Valentine's Day, and Saturday was Monster Hunter Wilds. Like, what are we talking?
Well, Saturday was Side Chick Day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Sam.
Not Side Chick Day.
It's the 15th is official Side Chick Day, and the side chick get better treatment than the main chick most times. We're not. Hey.
Okay, no.
Hey.
This man trying to get me in trouble for something I didn't do.
Out here giving away the game.
Hey, I'm just telling you, telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? If any ladies are listening to the show and your man wasn't around on the 15th, you know what I'm saying?
I was playing Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds. Calm down.
I'm saying?
Trying to get my throat slit at night, man. I'm good. But on a serious note, though, I haven't watched the interview, so I really don't have much to say on it.
Yeah. So, there's our take on the Phil Spencer interview. A little bit of love advice in the process. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully both of your days for the fellas, the 14th and the 15th, went very well. And both of those special women in your life, felt special. With that said, though, we're going to roll into our outros. And we're going to kick this off with, let's see, Jubei. Jubei was here first. So where can people find you and what will you be playing, Jubei?
Yeah, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. And I'll be playing some more Avowed. Like, I'm having a really good time with that game.
All right, you're probably playing it right now. You don't got no fucking camera on. Nappy, where can people find you and what are you playing this week?
You can find me on YouTube, YouTube basically, X, Blue Sky, all the apps. As far as games I'll be playing, I am still playing Enshrouded. I'm actually enjoying my own private world. I'm definitely trying to get a bunch of friends together because I do want to rent out for a server for at least 6 months to have like a server community driven world. As far as content that came in with, I did 2 controller reviews. One was released yesterday, while one released it today. For the mobile gaming side, you have the Easy SMX M05 controller. So this right here is the mobile controller for Android, iOS 15 and up. Supports X input, D input. Really fun controller, pass-through charging, 2 programmable buttons. I think that this is a really great controller, and you can get this for around $35 USD. As far as for actual legit controller size for PlayStation and Xbox, you guys gotten the Fortnite controller. So this is the Power A Fortnite controller. Has 4 programmable back buttons, trigger stoppers, and it works with wirelessly with Xbox Series S and X using a dongle, and has a headphone jack. All for the low price of $99 USD, making this the cheapest Elite or Pro controller you can get on the Xbox Series S or X. So, with that being said, future reviews. Now that controller review is done, I'm going to be working on the GameSir X3 cooling controller. So this controller has a giant fan built into the back of it. So basically, it helps cool your phone while playing games. And as for my other controller reviews, it's right here. The Flex Disc controller, the module controller is almost done, so you will see a review for this controller shortly. And then until then, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Except for if in Monster Hunter Wilds, if you're not in Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm not going to see you at all.
Okay, all right. And last certainly not least, Omar, where can we find you and what will you be playing this week?
shout out to everyone that came through. Hit that like button, share the stream out. You can find me on Caravan Culture Hub on Twitter and Other Player Podcast every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And Nate was here. Shout out to him. And yeah, see you next week.
All right. And you can find me tomorrow on Point for Gamers with C Money and Doodle right here on YouTube, 8 p.m. EST. Otherwise, I just want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for sharing it out. Thank you for being a part of our chat. And yeah, thank you guys for coming through, getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
All right. See ya.
I'm on the outside looking in.